Okay, I'm just gonna make a somebody asked about Bitcoin, so I've got the weekly chart here pulled up on my trading view. If you're interested in this sort of thing, I would download trading view if you're going to get into any sort of crypto at all, but here's a general rule of thumb, and it's not financial advice. Obviously, I have no idea what I'm talking about. You're going to lose all your money if you listen to anything I say. So, um I made this up for somebody in Indiana this past spring or something. I can't remember, but I drew it out for him and sent it to him. And all you're doing is looking for anywhere where there's a gap. I'm going to blow this up. Let's see how big this is. Anywhere there's a gap that's I'm going to move this. This is what I call the buy box. This is the gap. You see how there's a from the top of this little wick right here to the bottom of this wick, there's this big gap in here. That is going to be a place where they're going to want to come back to because they don't want you buying in here and riding the wave all the way up to the top. So they want you to, it's actually quite difficult to buy in here. It looks easy at this point. But you'll see there's another little one right here. There's another one right on top of it right there. And what you're looking for is price to go up, um, price to go up, retrace back in, and ideally you would like it to come into this is what I call the buy box. It's the little candle right before um, the gap. So for instance, up here there's another gap right in there. But you can see there's this wick that came into it, so it's no longer a valid gap. You would delete this one. So once a wick or a candle comes through it, then it's no longer valid. Well, here's the big part of the story. Bitcoin is all the way up here. Currently, they just had this drop here at 107, 107,000. It has to come. Well, it doesn't have to come. It can uh, follow along this. You got this trend that's basically up there. It could stay and chop all the way up to $20 million. Who knows? But um, I would not be a buyer myself personally until probably in this area down here around 41,000, 40,000. And I just thought it was interesting because I was looking through X the other day and I saw this tweet by everyone's favorite, Andrew Tate. Bitcoin is going to 26,000. Now, people may or may not like him, but he does have his finger on the pulse of crypto. And you can see that this buy box below the last gap comes right at the 26, 27,000 area. So I don't know if that's what he's actually thinking or not, but you can't listen to all the pumpers up here. They're saying, oh, it's going to take a massive catalyst in order to bring it all the way down through. Another thing I've shown it on my Facebook um, videos, but if you take a pitchfork and you put it low, high, low, then this kind of gives you an idea. This midline here is what you're looking for. It passed the midline and went up to that line, but when it retraced and came back, it hit directly off. Here, let's make this hit directly off the red line, and the red line down the middle off these low, high, lows is absolutely bad news. If you're in a trade and it comes up and hits one of these and and hovers around, that's where I'd get out. not financial advice. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. I kind of think it's uh, you know probably overpumped, and I think there's going to be a rug pull all the way down to this area down here at some point. But I could be absolutely wrong. But if you look at, I think it's Doge. I kind of look at Doge as kind of the I kind of look at Doge as the um, master fractal, and there's gaps all the way down here on Doge, and you can see there's this big gap on the weekly is getting chopped around in currently. It came down into the buy box here until it sets up above this buy box. I wouldn't I wouldn't touch it until it gets solidly up here. Maybe goes up to this area. Sorry about that. Up to here, a touch, and then goes. But to me, it looks dead for the next couple of years. So that's what I've got on Bitcoin, not financial advice.